Every time you're on the show, you give a spoiler and you get in trouble.
They decided that it was better to get rid of me than for me to tell the end of the next movie.
Marvel Studios is legendary for its obsessive secrecy, using fake scripts, code names, withholding information even from actors, and threatening legal action against anyone who leaks plot details. But despite these draconian measures, information about Avengers Doomsday, the upcoming film that will reportedly feature Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom, has been leaking out through actor interviews, social media posts, convention appearances, and offhand comments for months. Some actors have been shockingly careless. Others have dropped hints so specific that they might as well have confirmed major plot points, and a few have seemingly violated their NDAs so blatantly that fans are wondering why Marvel hasn't taken action. These spoilers and leaks aren't just random tidbits. When pieced together, they paint a remarkably detailed picture of what Avengers Doomsday will be about, what Dr. Doom's plan is, which characters are returning, and potentially even the film's ending. Understanding who leaked what, when they leaked it, and what these leaks reveal collectively gives us the most complete picture available of Marvel's most secretive project. Let's break down every MCU actor who has spoiled something about Doomsday, what they revealed, how significant each leak is, and what the complete picture looks like when all the spoilers are assembled. Robert Downey Jr., the announcement that started everything. The biggest spoiler about Doomsday came from RDJ himself at San Diego Comic-Con 2024 when he removed his mask on stage and revealed he's playing Dr. Doom. While this was an official announcement rather than a leak, what happened afterward provides crucial information about the film. In interviews following the announcement, RDJ has been remarkably coy, but has dropped several hints. According to reports from journalists who've spoken with him, RDJ has suggested that Dr. Doom is not a variant of Tony Stark in the traditional sense, but that there is a connection between the characters that audiences will find surprising and emotionally devastating. RDJ also reportedly told one interviewer that he's been working with Marvel on this return for over 2 years, meaning it was planned before several Phase 4 and 5 projects were released. This suggests that elements in those projects were specifically building toward his return as Doom, validating theories that the entire post-Endgame MCU has been constructed around this reveal. Most significantly, RDJ has repeatedly emphasized that this is not just Tony Stark playing dress-up as a villain, and that audiences should prepare for their understanding of everything to change. These statements suggest that whatever the connection between Tony and Doom is, it fundamentally alters how we understand MCU history. Benedict Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange's central role in the multiverse. Benedict Cumberbatch has been surprisingly loose-lipped about Doomsday in several interviews and convention appearances. At a fan event in late 2024, Cumberbatch reportedly said that Doctor Strange has the most important role he's ever had in Doomsday, and that the film deals with consequences of everything Strange has done with the multiverse coming home to roost. More specifically, Cumberbatch mentioned in a podcast interview that Strange faces an impossible choice between saving the multiverse and saving someone he cares about, and that this choice has to do with Tony Stark's legacy in ways no one expects. When asked directly if Dr. Doom is a Tony Stark variant, Cumberbatch reportedly smiled and said, "I can't answer that the way you're asking it," which many interpreted as confirmation that while Doom might not be a direct variant, there is some connection between Tony and Doom that complicates the question. Cumberbatch also apparently let slip during a different interview that he shares incredibly emotional scenes with Robert that feel like conversations between Strange and Tony, but they're not. This suggests that Strange interacts with Doom as if he's Tony, or as if he knows something about Doom's connection to Tony. Tom Holland, Spider-Man's emotional journey and mentorship echoes. Tom Holland is famously bad at keeping Marvel secrets, and he's continued that tradition with Doomsday. At a press event for a different film, Holland was asked about returning to the MCU and reportedly said he's so excited to work with Robert again, and that their scenes together are heartbreaking because of who Robert is playing and what that means for Peter. Holland later tried to walk this back, claiming he was talking about a different project, but damage was done. The implication is clear. Spider-Man has scenes with Dr. Doom. Those scenes are emotionally difficult because of Doom's connection to Tony Stark, and Peter Parker's relationship with Tony somehow factors into the Doom storyline. In another interview, Holland apparently mentioned that Peter has to confront the cost of what Mr. Stark did to save everyone, and that some legacies have consequences even heroes don't anticipate. This suggests that Tony's snap in Endgame or other actions created conditions that led to Doom's emergence. Most damningly, Holland posted and quickly deleted an Instagram story from the Doomsday set that showed him in his Spider-Man costume standing in front of a green screen with what appeared to be destroyed Stark Tower in the background. Fans who screenshot the image before deletion analyzed it and claimed they could see what looked like Doom iconography incorporated into the Stark Tower debris. Anthony Mackie, Captain America's leadership and the Avengers. Fracturing Anthony Mackie, who plays Sam Wilson/Captain America, has revealed significant information about Doomsday's plot structure and themes. In an interview at a film festival, Mackie said that Doomsday shows what happens when the Avengers are divided and can't agree on how to handle a threat, and that Dr. Doom exploits those divisions brilliantly. Mackie described his character as trying to be the leader Steve was, but facing a situation where there's no clear right answer, and dealing with heroes who think Doom might actually be right about some things. This suggests that Doom's plan has enough merit that heroes are divided about whether to oppose him, creating internal conflict within what's left of the Avengers. More specifically, Mackie mentioned that Sam has to decide whether to trust someone wearing Tony Stark's face who claims to be saving the multiverse, and that this decision tears the team apart. This is a huge spoiler confirming that Doom will claim his actions are necessary to save reality and that some heroes might believe him. Mackie also let slip that there's a scene where Steve Rogers' legacy and Tony Stark's legacy directly conflict, and Sam is caught in the middle trying to honor both. This suggests that whatever Doom is doing relates directly to Tony's legacy and contradicts Steve's values, forcing Sam to choose which predecessor's example to follow. Mark Ruffalo, the Hulk's knowledge and the science connection. Mark Ruffalo, another MCU actor notorious for spoilers, has dropped several hints about Doomsday. On a talk show appearance, Ruffalo mentioned that Bruce Banner recognizes something about Dr. Doom that no one else sees, and that the science Doom is using is connected to something Tony discovered. When pressed about what this means, Ruffalo backtracked, but added that Bruce and Tony's friendship factors into the story in unexpected ways, and that Bruce carries guilt about not preventing something that Tony's death made possible. Ruffalo also mentioned in a podcast that the Hulk has a really emotional moment confronting Doom about Tony, and that this confrontation reveals something about what Doom actually is that changes everything. This suggests that Doom's true nature or origin is a major plot revelation that comes through Bruce's scientific understanding and personal connection to Tony. Chris Hemsworth, Thor's perspective, and cosmic implications. Chris Hemsworth has been more careful than some other actors, but he's still revealed important information. In an interview about returning to the MCU, Hemsworth said that Thor sees the bigger cosmic picture of what Doom is doing, and understands that this threat is different from Thanos because it's not about destruction, it's about control. Hemsworth described Thor as one of the few heroes who might understand why Doom thinks he's right, because Thor has dealt with cosmic-level threats and knows that sometimes terrible choices are necessary to prevent worse outcomes. Most interestingly, Hemsworth mentioned that Thor has a conversation with Doom about power and worthiness and what it costs to hold reality together, and that this conversation echoes things Tony said in Endgame. This confirms that Doom and Thor have substantive interaction, and that Doom's motivations parallel Tony's in important ways. Paul Rudd, Quantum Realm Connections, and Time Manipulation. Paul Rudd, playing Ant-Man, revealed during a convention Q&A that the quantum realm stuff from Quantumania becomes really important in Doomsday, and that Doom has figured out something about quantum mechanics and time that makes him incredibly dangerous. Rudd mentioned that Scott Lang realizes that fighting Kang in the quantum realm created conditions that Doom exploited, and that there's a direct line from defeating Kang to Doom emerging as a threat. This suggests that the events of Quantumania weren't just about introducing Kang, but were setting up Doom's plan. Rudd also apparently said during a different appearance that time travel and quantum mechanics are central to understanding who Doom is and where he came from, which supports theories that Doom is either from another timeline or has used time manipulation in his origin. Tom Hiddleston, Loki's burden, and the multiverse crisis. Tom Hiddleston hasn't given traditional interviews about Doomsday because Loki is stuck holding the multiverse together at the end of Loki Season 2. But according to reports from people who attended a private Marvel event where Hiddleston spoke, the actor mentioned that Loki's situation directly enables what Doom is trying to do, and that holding the multiverse together isn't a permanent solution. Someone needs to fix the underlying problem. This suggests that Doom positions himself as offering a permanent solution to the multiverse crisis that Loki is only temporarily containing. Doom might argue that Loki is suffering unnecessarily, and that Doom's plan would free Loki from his burden while actually solving the problem. Hiddleston also reportedly said that Loki communicates with the heroes somehow in Doomsday despite being stuck at the end of time, and that what Loki knows about the nature of the multiverse and its fragility is crucial to understanding what Doom is really doing. Jonathan Majors' replacement, the Kang to Doom transition. While Jonathan Majors himself hasn't spoiled anything about Doomsday, he's no longer involved with Marvel. The fact of his firing and replacement with Doom as the main villain is itself a massive spoiler about the film's direction. According to industry sources who've spoken with trades like Variety and Hollywood Reporter, Marvel had to significantly rewrite Doomsday after deciding to move away from Kang. These sources indicate that Doctor Doom was inserted into a story that was originally about Kang and the multiversal war, and that surprisingly little had to change structurally. This suggests that Doom and Kang were serving similar narrative functions: multiversal threats who force heroes to make impossible choices about saving reality. The sources also indicate that some of the Kang variant council material was repurposed for Doom, with the implication that there might be Doom variants across the multiverse, just as there were Kang variants. This would make Doom exponentially more dangerous and would tie into the Tony Stark variant theories. The Russo brothers, directors confirming the emotional stakes. Directors Joe and Anthony Russo, who are returning to helm Doomsday and Secret Wars, have been careful but have still revealed important information. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, they described Doomsday as the most emotionally devastating film we've ever made, and said it fundamentally changes how audiences understand the MCU they've been watching. The Russos mentioned that working with RDJ as a villain is completely different from working with him as Tony, but also deeply connected, and that Robert is bringing everything he learned from playing Tony to create something entirely new that's still rooted in who Tony was. They also confirmed that Doomsday will answer questions fans have had about how the multiverse works and what Tony's sacrifice really meant, and that these answers will recontextualize everything from Iron Man 2008 forward. Most significantly, the Russos stated that the film's central question is whether the heroes can stop Doom when his plan to save the multiverse might actually work, and whether stopping him would doom reality. This confirms that Doom isn't simply evil. He's presenting a legitimate solution to the multiverse crisis that heroes must oppose for moral reasons, even if it might actually succeed. Supporting cast members. Smaller leaks that confirm story details. Various supporting actors have dropped smaller, but still significant spoilers. Evangeline Lilly, Hope Van Dyne/Wasp, mentioned that the Pym particles technology factors into Doom's plan in ways we never anticipated, and that shrinking and growing aren't the only things Pym particles can do at quantum levels. Brie Larson, Carol Danvers/Captain Marvel, reportedly said at a convention that Captain Marvel faces her biggest challenge understanding whether she should use her power to stop someone who might be saving reality, and that cosmic power doesn't mean cosmic wisdom. Sebastian Stan, Bucky Barnes, mentioned in an interview that Bucky sees echoes of Hydra's philosophy in what Doom is proposing, and has a really difficult conversation with Sam about whether control for good reasons is still wrong. Florence Pugh, Yelena Belova, apparently revealed that Natasha's sacrifice and Tony's sacrifice are connected to what Doom is doing, and that Yelena discovers something about the Soul Stone that changes the game. What all these spoilers reveal: the complete picture of Doomsday. When you compile all these leaks and spoilers, a remarkably detailed picture of Avengers. Doomsday emerges. The setup. The multiverse is collapsing due to incursions, realities colliding and destroying each other. Loki is holding it together temporarily by literally bearing the weight of infinite timelines, but this isn't sustainable. The heroes know reality is dying, but don't have a solution. Doom's emergence. Victor Von Doom appears, presenting himself as the only one with the genius and will to permanently fix the multiverse. He reveals he's connected to Tony Stark, variant, transformation, or something else, and claims that Tony's sacrifice created conditions that make Doom's plan possible. Doom's plan. Using a combination of Tony Stark's technology, quantum mechanics, possibly Pym particles, mystical forces, and multiversal manipulation, Doom proposes to stabilize all realities by bringing them under unified control, his control. He argues this is the only way to prevent total collapse. The division. The heroes split over whether to oppose Doom. Some, like Strange and Bruce, recognize that Doom's science is sound and his plan might actually work. Others, like Sam and Bucky, argue that totalitarian control, even if it saves reality, betrays everything the Avengers stand for. The emotional core. Peter Parker must confront someone wearing his mentor's face claiming to save the world. Strange must choose between the multiverse and Tony's legacy. Sam must balance Steve's values against Tony's pragmatism. Everyone must decide if Doom is a threat or a savior. The revelation. Doom's true nature/origin is revealed through Bruce's scientific insight and Strange's mystical understanding, fundamentally changing everyone's understanding of the MCU and Tony's sacrifice. The stakes. The heroes must stop Doom, but stopping him might doom the multiverse. They need to find a third option that saves reality without accepting Doom's control. Why Marvel can't stop the leaks. The reason all these spoilers have emerged is that Doomsday requires such a large cast, bringing back multiple heroes from across MCU history, that keeping everyone quiet is impossible. The more people who know the secret, the harder it is to maintain. Additionally, actors are doing constant press for other projects and fielding questions about the MCU, creating opportunities for slip-ups. Marvel could take legal action against actors who violate NDAs, but doing so would create bad publicity and damage relationships with talent they need for future projects. So instead, they rely on the fact that most casual viewers don't follow spoilers closely and will still be surprised when seeing the actual film. But for fans who have been paying attention, the mystery of Doomsday has been significantly unraveled through these various actor leaks and spoilers. The broad strokes are clear. Robert Downey Jr. returns as Dr. Doom, a villain connected to Tony Stark who offers a potentially valid solution to the multiverse crisis that heroes must oppose on moral grounds, even if it might actually work. The specifics of how Tony and Doom are connected and whether Doom's plan ultimately succeeds or fails remain unclear, but the foundation has been laid through countless actor spoilers that Marvel hasn't been able to contain. Actors who spoiled Doomsday have revealed not just random details, but a coherent narrative framework that makes the film's story clear even before it's released. Whether Marvel is angry about these leaks or secretly pleased that they're building anticipation is unclear, but either way, the secrecy surrounding Avengers Doomsday has been significantly compromised by the very actors who are supposed to be protecting it.